Yeah. So it is an extended examination of return on equity of a company which analyzes net profit margin and asset turnover and financial leverage. So return on equity, the formula you can see there, it is net income divided by shareholders equity. Okay. So in simple words, it breaks down the ROE, that is return on equity, to analyze how corporate can increase the return of their shareholders. Why they have to analyze? You know that, right? In the corporate finance, you learned there are two goals of financial management. What is that? First one is profit maximization. Second one,
Wealth maximization.
wealth maximization. Yeah. So if any company want to analyze or they want to increase their shareholders' wealth, so they have to use this particular DuPont analysis formula, and they can calculate and you can find out where they can increase their value. So return on equity, you can see that the three ratios that we're using: net profit margin, that is asset turnover ratio, and financial leverage. So the formulas are given here. Net profit margin is net income divided by sales, and asset turnover ratio, sales divided by total sales, and financial leverage is total assets divided by total equity. Okay. So when you multiply that, you'll get the return on equity. Okay. But individually you can analyze and they can do that. Okay. It generates a high net profit margin. Okay. It will help you to increase your return on equity and effectively uses its asset to generate more sales and higher financial leverage. You can have more financial leverage. So when do you have more? When do you have financial leverage? Whenever you have a debt capital in your capital structure. I think Baby Sir has taught you that. If any company has a debt capital, then they have a financial leverage. Okay. So the components used here is, one is profit margin. Okay. As you all know that it's a very basic profitability ratio, and it is calculated by dividing the net profit divided by total revenue, that we already saw that. So if any company has, you can see there a small example, a company X has an annual net profit of 1,000 and annual turnover of 10,000. So the net profit margin will be, you can calculate that is net profit divided by total revenue. So 1,000 divided by 10,000, you will get 10%. So net profit margin is 10%. And total asset turnover ratio, what does it shows? It shows this how the company is effectively using their assets. But it is calculated by dividing the revenues by average assets. So this again across the industry, you can compare it and you can check. You can see, for example, I given there, a company has a revenue of 10,000 and average assets is 200. So the asset turnover ratio you can calculate, that is 1,000 divided by, sorry, 10,000 divided by 200. How much will get? How much will get? 10,000 divided by 200. How much?
50 times.
Yeah, you get 50. Yeah. I think there's a problem in the question. It may not be 50 times, it may be 1,000 only. Yeah, 5 is correct. So it is 5 times. Okay, so that is revenue is 1,000 and the assets are 200. Okay, and financial leverage, you already know, it refers to the debt capital what you have in your capital structure. Whenever a company has a debt capital, that is a leverage, financial leverage. Okay, and debt should be used to finance the operations and growth of the company. And excess leverage will push your ROE, can turn out to be detrimental for the health of the company. So you can calculate here, average assets is 1,000 and 400 is the equity. So it will get 2.5 is the leverage. Okay. So we ought to just multiply all that. That is what we got, 10% into 5 into 2.5. So whatever you get, that is your return on equity. Okay. I'll show you one more example here. There are two companies here. Profit margin, you can see 30%, 50%, and asset turnover ratio 0.5 and 6, and financial leverage 3 and 0.5. Okay. So A and B, both the companies are into electronic industry and have the same ROE of 45%. That means return on equity of both the company, if you calculate 30 into 0.5 into 3, you will get 45. 15 into 6 into 3.5, you multiply these three. If you multiply these, you will get 45. This is also 45. If somebody sees only ROI, return on equity, they say, oh, both the companies are same. They can say that because return on equity is same. But if you just go there and check individually, you can find out there. So if the company A has more profit margin, that means they're able to sell at a higher sales, but company B has a less profit margin. And asset turnover ratio, who is using very good assets, they're using their assets very well. That is 0.5, that is company A, and company B is 6. So which company is better? B, because they have 6 times they're using it. And then financial leverage, which has highest financial leverage, company A. So more the financial leverage, more the risk. So company A, even though they have high profit margin, but they have financial leverage is very, very risky. They have more risk. That is what you can find out there. So company A, even though the companies are same ROI, but they are operationally they are different. So company A, you can see already I explained, they have higher sales while maintaining lower cost of goods, which can be seen from the profit margin, which is higher than the company B, 30%. And then on the other hand, B is selling his product at a lower margin, that is why their profit margin is less, 15%. Okay. But their asset turnover ratio indicates that company is making a large number of sales. That is why you can see the asset turnover ratio is 6 for B and 0.5 for A. Okay. Moreover, company B seems less risky because their financial leverage is only 0.5. But company A, even though they have high profit margin, they have huge risk, that is 3. Okay. So then you can find out, you can only decide which company is better. So which company is better? For any company, any investors, if you want to suggest, which company will you suggest? A or B?
B, sir.
A. Profit margin is good for A, but B you see, but the financial leverage is very high. They should have, they have to bear a lot of risk. Okay. So thus analysis helps compare similar companies with similar ratios. It helps investor to measure the risk. That is very, very important. Any investor, if you go and ask, they will first ask you what are the risk, okay, with the business model. Okay, that is what we can individually, when you bifurcate and study it, you can find out about that. Okay. So limitation, this again depends on the accounting data, okay, which can be manipulated very easily by the management to hide the discrepancies. Many companies they have done it, like Satyam Computers, many companies have done and they got caught. Okay. And then it's very useful for comparison between the companies under the same industry, but you cannot compare the company with the other industry because their industry itself is different. So you cannot do a DuPont analysis will not be helpful. That's one of the drawback of the DuPont analysis. So you can do 3.3 way you can calculate. One is profit margin and total asset turnover and equity multiplier. One more we have 5 steps also they have. One is they're going to calculate the tax burden, that is net income divided by pre-tax income, and then asset turnover, that is total sales divided by total assets, and equity multiplier, that is nothing but total asset divided by total equity, and interest burden, that is pre-tax income divided by EBIT, and operating margin, that is EBIT divided by sales. What is EBIT, by the way? Anyone? You want to learn that? Corporate
Earning before interest and tax.
Yeah, earning before interest and tax. Yeah. So here they're going to use 5 steps. Earlier we had only 3. They can use 5 also. That will tell you the tax burden, how much they are having, asset turnover, equity multiplier, interest burden, and operating margin. They can even intersect and go inside and check about their company. So that is what they can do that. And can they apply this for zero debt company? Yes, it is equally useful when the company is using debt-free company also. Only thing, the above formula remains the same, which one exception, that is financial leverage component is taken as 1 and the rest remains the same. Because why 1 have to take? Because in this formula you can see there, right? Financial leverage. Yeah, the financial leverage, if the company doesn't have debt, then they have to take it as 1, that's all. Okay. And even they also can use it. Any company doesn't have debt capital in their capital structure, they also can use it. Okay. This is what the summary of the DuPont analysis is. The external analysis of the company's return on equity or return on investment. It includes that a company can earn a higher return on equity if it earns a higher net profit margin and uses its asset effectively to generate more sales and has a high financial leverage. Okay, and formulas are given there for 3 steps and as well as for you can use that for calculating. And then DuPont analysis provides a broader picture of a return on company is earnings on its equity. It tells where a company's strength lies and where there is a room for improvement. This is the benefit of DuPont analysis. Any doubt in DuPont analysis? Anybody? I'm extending anyway. This is the last class. We'll wind up soon. Any doubt? DuPont analysis, did you understand? Students? Anyways, problems will not come from this for your examination. Don't worry. You may get maximum. You may get a theory question only, not a problems one. That's why I didn't solve any problem on this. Yeah. Any doubt, student? Did you understand? Yes or no? Till you confirm, I cannot stop the class. Please tell me. Do you understand? DuPont analysis. Anyways, I already shared this. Please read again. If you have any doubt, you can come back to me. Okay. That is about DuPont analysis. So I have completed everything.